think I got my swagger back.
Jackson dirty. Yeah, yeah. She niggas know me. That Honda's on me. She love my foreign.
What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and today I just am doing a little discussion video talking about the future of the NBA 2K franchise. And no, I'm not talking about NBA 2K20, which is the next game that will be announced probably in a couple months. No, today I'm talking about something a little different. To talk about this, I need to give you guys some backstory or context as to what I'm talking about, why I'm even bringing this up. So it was announced, confirmed, that the PlayStation 5 was being currently worked on by Mark Cerny, one of the bigger names in PlayStation. It was already confirmed. I mean, it was already assumed this was the time of year where a new PlayStation generation comes out, so that's no big surprise. That also means a new Xbox is being worked on as we speak. Both new consoles, a new generation is coming. And what I wanted to do is relate to this video and this information to the NBA 2K franchise and what they're planning on doing with the franchise now with this new generation. What are they going to add? What are the new things they can do with it? And why I'm excited for it. So, first, I want to talk about when the PlayStation 5 is rumored to be released. So they already confirmed that the PlayStation 5 will not be released in 2019, which means that it's going to be released in 2020. It would be dumb for them to announce anything unless it was reasonably soon. So it seems like more or less it'll be coming out holiday of 2020, probably December of 2020. Which I'm cool with. I mean, this is kind of expected. I always get super excited when the new, generations being announced and all the new consoles. I feel like a little kid whenever this stuff starts getting mentioned, and I'm really excited for it. I want to know, right? How is 2K going to be affected by this? When you saw the last time we had a big jump graphically and, well, game-wise in the 2K series was when the PlayStation 4 came out or the Xbox One came out, whichever one you care about. That was the last time we saw a big change in 2K. And since then, not much has changed since that moment. Sure, it is a different game and everything's changed a little bit. But when you talk about graphical change and stuff like that, not much has changed. That's going to happen in the 2K that comes out with the PlayStation 5. The question is, which 2K is that going to be? NBA 2K21 or NBA 2K22, right? I know, you're like, Pack, we're not even in NBA 2K20 yet and you're already talking about the next two? Listen, this is the thing, right? If PlayStation 5 comes out in December 2020, NBA 2K21 is supposed to be released during September of 2020. Do they really release a brand new 2K before the new PlayStation is about to come out? I feel like that'd be dumb money-wise because this game would come out and then it's only going to last for 3 months because then the new PlayStation is going to come out and nobody's going to want to play NBA 2K21 when it's on the old generation. That's dumb. So the question is, do they hold off on making NBA 2K21 and wait to release it with the brand new PS5 when the PS5 comes out from what I remember when the PlayStation 4 came out? Or are they just going to let 2K21 die out after just 3 months of being released and then an NBA 2K22 is when they'll make the brand new next generation 2K game? Which one do you do? I mean, I feel like it makes more sense to wait until the PlayStation 5 comes out and then release NBA 2K21 than to wait all the way till NBA 2K22. That's my opinion. Who knows what they're going to really plan there? Money-wise, it just doesn't make sense to me, but we'll see. The next thing I want to talk about is the significant increase in graphical fidelity and how much can be on the screen has been upgraded. So graphics are already going to be, I mean, this happens every gaming generation and every console generation. The graphics go up tremendously. More things can be added on the screen. It looks better. But what can they do to 2K that's already not being done? I mean, it's already pretty dang good graphically. I think a lot of things that need to be fixed is fluidity of the game. It's very stiff still in my opinion. Lighting needs to be fixed still. It's not that it's bad, it's just that every player is a little matted, so it's not really realistic on how people look. If you're bald, for example, the light should be shining off your head, not being matted. That's my opinion, of course. But those are the kind of things that they could work on in this game. Muscle definition, hair on the arms, for example. All these little things, these little details are going to add up to make it look a lot more realistic for the next generation. And that's what I expect them to do. They already have sweat. They can probably make it a little better, though. One thing that they absolutely need to fix is the crowd. I feel like it really could be upgraded. It's just a bunch of 2D models right now, or 3D, but super basic 3D models that should be in the PlayStation 3. That's something that they could definitely upgrade and make it look better. And then I feel like the crowd would feel a lot more realistic. And not only do they need to make the crowd look more realistic, but they also need to make the animations for the crowd a lot more realistic. Like when they hit an important three, the crowd should go crazy, not yay. Like, they need to all just lose their minds. Some people standing up, cheering. Like, that's what we need. I feel like graphically it's good, but the immersion is still not perfect. And that's what they need to focus on for the next generation. That's what I think 2K should be doing for the next generation. But I'm not sure what more they can do with the graphics. 2K is already a simulation game, so they're already trying to make it as realistic as possible. So I feel like there isn't too much we're going to see. It won't be as crazy as a jump from the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. I believe it was a jump from NBA 2K12 to NBA 2K13, or 13 to 14. I can't remember which one. I think it was a jump from 13 to 14. The graphics were like ridiculously increased. Like, if you see the comparison of LeBron from the generation before to now, is like ridiculous. Are we going to see another stupid jump graphically, or is it just going to look a little better? That's what I'm wondering, right? Another thing to talk about is backwards compatibility. They already announced that the PlayStation is going to be backwards compatible, so what does that mean? Are they saying that NBA 2K21 is going to be that, and then they're just not going to fix it? They're just going to continue it, kind of like how FIFA did. It didn't really change that much graphically at all. I hope they don't go that route, because that's super lame in my opinion. Another thing that they're adding, which I feel like is one of the more impressive and important things in 2K20 to the new 2K and the new generation graphically, is that it's going to be 8K. So at the moment, the 2K games are running at 4K on the PlayStation Pro, but in reality, they're more like 1080p. Like, yes, they're running in 4K, but the games themselves are kind of like 1080p. If the ability for NBA 2K21, for example, is going to be in 8K, it's going to look 4 to 6 times better than it was before. That's a ridiculous increase graphically. So I keep saying I don't know how much more they can do, but I'm sure when they release some kind of trailer eventually, we're all going to be blown away about how amazing the graphics are going to be. Like, I always get excited with the graphics and ratings when the new 2K comes out, but when the new generation 2K games come out, oh my god, I'm going to be so excited talking about these and like showing off the graphics so much. I really hope they really blow us away with the graphics. But again, that's not really the problem. The more is the gameplay. Graphics has never been really a situation with the game. Another thing is historical players. I don't feel like they do a really good job with historical players. So maybe the 8K on the next generation 2K game is going to be like ridiculous, and Will Chamberlain's going to look exactly like Will Chamberlain. They might be doing stuff like that. They also expect VR to be like really heavily involved with the new PlayStation. And they already tried to do VR for 2K. It didn't really work, so I don't know what they're going to do. It's expected to come with the PlayStation, or it might. I don't know if that's the route they're going to want to go. That's expensive also, so I don't know if they're going to do that. But if they do end up doing that, how is 2K going to implement VR into their games? And that's going to be a tough one. I'm not really sure how they're going to be able to do anything like that, but we'll see with that one in time. Another thing is they have a better SSD. I don't know much about that, but essentially there's going to be much better loading screens. The loading screens really aren't that bad for NBA 2K19, but what's better? A little bit of loading screens or no loading screens at all? You know the answer. If I could have no loading screens at all, I'd be happy, and that's what it's saying, that it is 20 times faster than before. They tried it with the new Spider-Man game, and the loading screen loaded up 20 times faster. Now, of course, with the new game, it's going to be more powerful, so it's going to be a lot more to load. So maybe not 20 times faster, but maybe 10 times faster. And honestly, that's almost instant with 2K, because for the most part, it's pretty fast. And finally is something that I'm kind of interested in what they're going to try to do. So, if you know about the PlayStation, there's a touchpad on the PlayStation controller, and that is a thing that nobody uses. It's dumb. I know you used to be able to switch defenses in 2K18. I don't know if you can with 19 with the touchpad. But it's expected the PlayStation is going to remove the touchpad and change it with a touch screen. And the screen itself is going to have things going on it. And I'm wondering, what is 2K going to do with the screen? What can they possibly do with that screen that's going to be useful to 2K and people are actually going to use? And the only thing I could really think about is putting up defenses and substitutions on that little mini screen. If I can switch any player through that screen while I'm playing, that's way better than having to move the D-pad, play around with the settings, stuff like that, or call a timeout. Let me just go on my little screen and change something really easily. If they do that, that's going to be one of the more important things to do with that screen. Or like defensive assignments, or how hard you want to play defense. All those kind of things I should be able to do on that tiny screen while I'm playing instead of having to call a timeout. That's what I believe I should be able to do. So I feel like that's pretty important. You could call it the coach's clipboard or something. I personally think that's like the only thing they can really do with that thing. But we'll see what 2K has in mind. But more than anything, it is basically confirmed that 2K is about to get way better in a year and a half. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with that. But that's it for this little discussion video, you guys. Do you agree or disagree? What do you think is going to happen with this new generation of gaming? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.
I think I got my swagger back.
Dressing dirty. Yeah. You know me. Hundreds on me.